And welcome back to Open. Daren Jaime here with you, and we are glad to have you sharing with us as we continue to bring you news, information, content, and the things that you need to know, particularly as the Bronx and New York City reacts and tries to deal with all this happening with COVID-19. Seniors are a very important population during this time, one of the most vulnerable populations during this time. And here to talk a little bit about what is going on with regards to seniors, we're pleased to be joined by Julie Dalton, and she's the Executive Director of the Riverdale Senior Services. And Julie, good to have you.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. And I love what you say about, highlighting our older neighbors, a very important segment of our population.
Well, it's an important, right? But not only is it important, but they are the most vulnerable during this time. And a lot of questions, we know this, the seniors, we want to keep them safe. We want to do the best they can to keep them safe. And I know one of those things we want to talk about is like meals, because contrary to popular belief, something as basic as a meal is a big issue for seniors.
It definitely is an issue. And I will say before we get into that, I think what we found, because we were and are a very robust senior center. So in the matter of a few weeks, we had to move from welcoming people to our place to trying to do everything digitally and remotely. So that's been a challenge for us, but we're meeting that challenge. But through it all, I will say that older adults are very resilient. But yes, you've touched on a very good issue. The basics of food and food access is a critical issue. We work with the Department for the Aging. I think in a very short time, they had to move from our model of having people come to a congregate site to get meals to a delivery system. So again, I give them kudos for working on that so quickly. However, there certainly are challenges with rolling out that system. So we're doing our best. Our social workers have stepped up to the plate. Last week alone, we spoke to over 500 people to assess their need of food access. So again, I think what we try to do now is we refer people to the Department for the Aging because we no longer provide that meal directly. We've also now updated our website, rssny.org, with lots of resources for other opportunities or resources where people can get food. And I think also, too, we really want to make sure that the community knows that if you live in an apartment building and there's older neighbors, if it's safe for you to do so, check in with them. Maybe you could go, if someone from your household goes shopping once a week, maybe you could pick up something for that neighbor.
Yeah, those are very important, items that we need to think about, particularly with the senior population. I know for a fact that you said earlier about being involved, right? And staying connected is staying connected with your population. It's become increasingly hard because of social distancing, because of what's going on. How have you navigated that? Because I think you let a little bit about that earlier, but I know it's been a challenge for you.
It is. And social isolation, what we call social isolation, even in normal times, can be an issue for an older person in the community who may live alone, who may have family further by. So now what we've had to do is move everything from in-person to connecting. One of our challenges is about 40% of our members that come regularly to RSS are connected on social media or the internet. But there's another group of people that aren't. So what we're doing now is, again, as I mentioned, our social workers, we're doing check-in phone calls with people. We also want to remember that people are going to go through a lot of emotions. We have a geriatric mental health program that we're now doing via telephone and via video conference. So that's one thing we're doing. We're also having some of our wonderful instructors, our Tai Chi instructor, our art instructor, do virtual classes for our members. And again, the other people we don't want to leave out of this equation are the caregivers, whether they are caring for an elderly parent, possibly somebody with dementia or cognitive issues. We also now do caregiver support groups online. And we have a list of those programs, again, on our website.
I want to, if you can, real quickly, share a little bit about the whole issue of this isolation, right? Because as seniors, traditionally, one of the big battles that are fought is isolation. And so you have the issue of isolation. And then in addition to isolation, the mental health component, that's big too.
Absolutely, because again, so many people would come to RSS in the normal times, as I call it, because they see their friends it's a reason for them to get up and go out. We provide transportation services. So now, when we do our check-in phone calls with them, they'll say, well, how's Sarah doing? How's Margie doing? I miss seeing all my friends. So we, continue to connect them. And again, our social workers are very astute in asking those questions so that if we can identify that someone is feeling depressed or anxious, frankly, who isn't anxious during this pandemic, we can then connect them to other resources through our organization or themselves. But I think it's knowing that they're not alone. So I got an email just this morning from the mother of one of our participants in our Center for Memory Loss, thanking us and thanking our director for engaging her mother so well and being so kind and caring. That means everything to us because we think of RSS as a family, and these are our family members. So we know that when this is over, we'll be stronger, but we're there every step of the way for people that are feeling isolated.
Yeah, and before we go, please do me a favor and share with people, how do they stay connected to you in a time such as this? And if they're having some challenges, how do they get in touch with you so that way you might be able to better serve them?
The first way, they can call us, 718-884-5900. Please be patient. Obviously, we're not there, but we do check the voicemail. There's very specific instructions. They can leave their name and phone number if they don't have email, and let us know briefly what the issue is, and then one of our staff will contact them. They can also just go to our website, rssny.org. They can fill out a contact me form. They can sign up for some of our wonderful programs that are coming up. Or again, they can just leave their name or email, and then we will reach out to them.
Thank you so much, Julie, for all the great work that you're doing. I know it's a little bit challenging. I think all of us are challenged in making adjustments, but we're able to do things virtually. And, thank you for being a part of, of our virtual family, that we can be able to share all that's going on at RSS as well. Julie, thanks a lot.
Thank you, and stay safe and be healthy.
Hey, the same to you. All righty. Julie Dalton of Riverdale Senior Services. Listen, taking a quick break. We will be back. We've got more show coming up right after this.